Hi friends, so let's chat. So we are in my partner's car because, well, I'm going to work, but we're in my partner's car and I'm driving to work, and I wanted to talk about my my Disney-a-thon TBR and the book I already finished. So if you saw my TBR video, I went over the Disney-a-thon, but I am doing the Little Mermaid theme, and last night I finished the prompt for read a book by your favorite author, which I think is for Prince Eric. And I read The Honey Don't List and I finished it, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. So I didn't hate it. It definitely wasn't my favorite Christina Lauren book. I think that they're like more going to like a women's fiction, which is bullshit, it's just fiction kind of vibe. And you can really tell in this book, it was more of like our female main character's exploration of her life. Sorry, my town or my county is like riddled with potholes. The roads are, because they don't care. So this one is about, it follows 2 points of view, Carrie and James. And Carrie has been working for this like HGTV couple named The Trips for almost a decade, I think. And James is like a new addition to the team. So Carrie is like the assistant of the wife, and James is like the mechanical engineer or something along those lines. But he ends up just like being the assistant to the husband. And they're like this HGTV couple that everybody loves. And on the outside, they have like the perfect marriage, but it's a lie. And so they released a marriage self-help book or whatever they're called, and they are going on tour for it, but they can't be like in the same room as each other. So the 2 assistants are like tasked with going on tour with the couple and like basically making sure that they stay civil in the public eye. And we get like a romance between our 2 points of view, like our 2 characters. I really felt like the romance was really rushed. So to me, infatuation and lust are like fine. I feel like, especially with a new relationship, it's a lot of feelings, and like it's a lot of intense feelings, and that's fine. So like saying you like each other and like being all up on each other and, you know, constantly thinking about them, it's just like a regular thing when you're in a new relationship. But I felt like they got to the L word pretty quickly. Like there wasn't really any development, which is kind of lame. And I also felt like a lot of our focus and the plot was on the female main character Carrie's relationship with the Trips, and like her kind of standing up for herself and deciding what she wants to do with her life and all of that. And I didn't hate it in like the context of like the actual story itself. I kind of just didn't like that it wasn't anything like we thought it was going to be, like we were led to believe based on like the summary and the way that the book like sound, the way that it was like publicized, I guess, or you know, whatever. And if I had known that it was like a light romance with more of like a finding yourself storyline, then I probably would have approached this differently. I did know that not everyone loved this book, but I didn't know why. Like, no one in any of their reviews really explains why they don't, at least like on BookTube, why that I've seen, like they don't like the book or think that it lived up to what they expected it to be. No one explains why. So I didn't know exactly what, I just thought it was like maybe bad writing or insta-love or something, and that just wasn't the case. And yeah, so that was my thoughts on that. So I don't know what I want to read next. I was originally planning on doing my other readathon first, but the Honey Don't list had like an 8-day loan on it, and I tried to renew, because it's a new book, and I tried to renew it, and it already has a request elsewhere, so I have to turn it in today. And that's the other thing, like I did read it in one sitting. Like, it wasn't bad and it wasn't boring, and I didn't really feel like it was lacking in any places. Some people said that they found, like, you know, some spots boring or hard to get through, and I didn't really have that issue. Like, I pretty much enjoyed it the whole time. It was just not where my expectations were, or what my expectations of the plot were going to be. But so I guess I will start the Disney-a-thon now, and this has more books than my musical Mayhem readathon does, but I think I'm still gonna try to get through all of my books this weekend. So like, I might make this like a 72-hour reading vlog, or a weekend reading vlog, Friday through Sunday. So I will let y'all know when I get back home what book I'm gonna pick up, because I didn't bring my stack with me to work. Hey guys, so I'm back for work and I am ready to start a book. So let's go over the books that I have. So like I said, I am thinking of making this a like weekend thing, trying to get all these books done this weekend. It's 3 o'clock. So I'm going to try to get all these books done by 3 o'clock on Sunday, but let's go over the books I have. So the book I think I'm going to start with today is for the Ariel prompt, and it is also, I'm sorry, it's for the group book prompt for the Ariel team. And let me go to my spread in my bullet journal. My cat is looking at the camera at me. Well, baby, so for the Sebastian prompt, which is read the group book, I have the group book of A Song Below Water, which is really cool because it just happened that I had checked this book out for my library and I didn't even know it was a group book. So I was very excited to find this out. I'm probably going to start with this. As you can see, it's pretty slim, and I'll let you guys know what it's about later on. And then for the Ariel prompt, which is read a book with a singer as the main character, I have Let Me Hear a Rhyme. Technically, the like singer in the story is a rapper, but it's about a group of friends in Brooklyn who want to like make their friend a big rapper. So there's this one. For Flounder, read a book with a great friendship. Monday's Not Coming. This is like a suspense mystery thriller situation. Her best friend, our main character's best friend, goes missing, and she's like the only one that seems to care or to like want to find out what happened. This is like the thickest book on my TBR, and it's only like 400 pages, so there's this. Then for the read a book by your favorite author, which is Prince Eric, I read The Honey Don't List, which I said I read yesterday. I don't have it because I turned it into the library. Ursula is read a book in which a character changes their appearance. I went with To Kill a Kingdom. This is about a girl whose mom is like, she's a siren and her mom is the sea queen, and she changes her to a human because she like falls in love with a human boy. So it sounds like it might be like a Little Mermaid retelling or whatever. This doesn't super fit the prompt, but she does change her appearance and like her person. So, and I'm sure she'll change clothes throughout this. So this one, and then like I said, the group book for Sebastian is the name of it, and the prompt is read the group book, which is A Song Below Water. And then for King Triton, it's you can read any team books without following the map, but first complete your own team's prompts. So I actually followed the map. So from The Little Mermaid, you go to Hercules, then you go to Beauty and the Beast, and then you go to Princess and the Frog, and I've read all of their group books. So I kind of just picked a prompt that I was interested in that like fit the library books that I had, and it was with royalty, had to do with royalty. For this prompt, I have 2 options. So I have Love Boat Taipei. It's about a girl she's Chinese American, I believe, and her parents send her to like a boarding school, and I believe one of the characters in here is a prince or some like sort of royalty. But if there isn't any royalty in this, then I will read 3 Dark Crowns. I think this is like 3 sisters that have to fight for the crown. So these are all the books that I plan on reading this weekend. So it's quite, I mean, they're not, all of them are pretty, you know, small. They're each about probably a little under 400 pages. And then A Song Below Water, which I showed you. So I think this is pretty doable. I might try to pick up the audiobook for one of these, just because I obviously will be doing other stuff like cleaning, dealing with the ferrets and things like that. So we'll see what happens, but for right now, I think I'm going to jump into A Song Below Water, and I will update you guys with my thoughts. So it is 11 o'clock on Friday night, and an hour and a half ago I finished A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This tells the story of 2 girls. It's a dual POV story. One girl is a siren, and one is like her, they call each other sister. The other one that's not the siren like doesn't really know what she is, and in this world sirens are only like black women, and like they are basically a secret. People are basically prejudiced against sirens. They think that they're manipulative and that they're bad and they should be dealt with, basically. One of our main characters, her father is very like against anybody finding out about her being a siren, to the point where like if any news or anything comes out about sirens, he like makes her wipe her history if she even associated with the person at all. And when a trial happens about a guy who murders his girlfriend, there's like speculation that she's a siren, and so it kind of turns into like a justification of her murder because she might be a siren. And the siren main character that we have, one of the like vloggers that she really likes, comes forward and says like, I'm a siren and I want to use my voice to like stand up, show that it's not right that we are not treated the way we should be treated. So this is like a really weird book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. It's very magical and weird, set against the backdrop of the Black Lives Matter movement. So like the plot going on with the other main character is she's like trying to find out what she is. Like she knows that she's not human and she doesn't know like what is going on, and some like weird stuff is going on in the community as well. Like people are like turning to stone, and so there's just like a bunch of different plots going on, and it's super weird. But I loved the backdrop and like the commentary into the Black Lives Matter movement, police brutality, how the intersectionality of like women and like of black women means that their part in the Black Lives Matter movement is not as like strong as like a black male. And there's a lot of commentary into like how if a black male is killed, it is sort of boosted more than if a black female is killed. And there's just a lot of like really powerful stuff, but it was just really strong and really good, and I would consider rereading it because there was just so much like weirdness in this that I wasn't expecting. And like it's very much about like their friendship and them sticking together, but also like their identity and like figuring out who they are and their place in the world and finding their own voices and not wanting to hide who they are. Aside from all that, which is great, like the plot was just very weird. Like the magic of it, the magic aspect, and like all that was just very odd, and it was very weird, and just, it was good though. I really, really liked it, and I wasn't at all expecting what I got, and it was really great, and I really enjoyed it. I basically read it in one sitting, but yeah, very well done, and I really liked it. But it's like 11 o'clock now, and I'm starting to get sleepy. So I think I'm gonna pick my next book up, see how much I can read, and yeah, we'll see how much I can read. I'm a wimp. I cannot do late nights at all. So I think the next book that I'm going to pick up is Love Boat Taipei, which I am reading for the bonus prompt of like a royalty, and I have heard it's like very gossipy girl and just very dramatic. This will be a good read, so we will see how far I get into it before I fall asleep, and then I will update you guys tomorrow with any interesting information. Guys, I am 212 pages into Love Boat Taipei, and it is about 5 o'clock on Saturday. I started this book this morning. I didn't get any reading done last night. I ended up just reading, like watching stuff till I fell asleep, but I am really enjoying this. So it's about a girl that goes to a summer camp school thingy in Taiwan. She meets like a bunch of people there, but her parents are the ones that sent her there, and they are very set in how they want her life to go. They want her to become a doctor, go to school, become a doctor, you know, that whole life. And she wants to be a dancer, and she gets accepted into a dance school. And so when she goes off to the school that they sent her to in Taiwan, she is just kind of like discovering who she is, what she wants, how to stand up to her family, and she's also kind of messing with this like group of friends and just enjoying life when she previously wasn't allowed to do a lot of the things that she wanted to do. She couldn't dress how she wanted, you know, be with boys and things like that. So she's just kind of experiencing life without rules, really. And this is really good. I thought it was going to be more of like a Gossip Girl situation, but it's not really. I think it's really an exploration into our main character Ever's like identity and her discovering who she is and what she wants. And but it's still fun, and it's light, and it's just addressing a lot of issues with like not knowing who you are and holding your family's expectations about your life, but also wanting to make your own decisions and be who you want to be. It's good, and I am enjoying it. Right now, I would probably give it maybe like a 3 or a 4. It's not anything spectacular. My situation was not like this. My mom was very open to like whoever I wanted to be was fine by her. So I was never really held to the same like standard, I guess, or my life was never like decided for me. So I can't super relate on that aspect, but I'm still enjoying it. Like I said, I'm 212 pages in, so it's a couple pages over halfway, and I'm expecting to get this done within a couple of hours and then move on to another book. So I have finished Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. When I first finished it, I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And then I like sat there and thought about it, and I bumped it down. So I liked it. It was entertaining, but I think it tried to tackle a lot of really hard topics, and it didn't do it well. There's trigger warnings for depression, self-harm, suicide, domestic abuse, a bunch of pretty tough topics, and they were really just glanced over or like mentioned as like a shock or like as a plot device, and then not ever expounded upon. So that didn't feel great. But the overall story of like finding your identity and all of that was great, and it was fun aside from like all of that. So I'm I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but it was an enjoyable, fun time. Also, I read this for the like bonus prompt of royalty, and there's no royalty in this. So if I have enough time, I'm going to read Three Dark Crowns, or I'm gonna have To Kill a Kingdom fit both prompts. But I think tonight I am going to start Kill a Kingdom, which is for the prompt, the Ursula prompt. One of the characters changes their appearance a lot, which Love Boat Taipei could fit for because they have like a bunch of different outfits and they talk about them a lot. And then this could fit for the royalty. So that's actually perfect. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe. But I originally picked this for Ursula because the story is like this princess who's a siren whose mother changes her into a human because she fell in love with a prince. And I think that like fits my team of The Little Mermaid so perfectly. And it's 342 pages. So we'll see how this goes. Guys, it is Sunday at about 3 o'clock and I am halfway through To Kill a Kingdom and I think I'm gonna DNF it. I am really bored and I don't really like it. So it's basically like a Little Mermaid retelling, except she's a siren and Ursula is her mom, and she has to every year steal the heart of a human, and her specialty is like princes, and so she ends up saving a prince's life because she wants to take his heart, and then her mom curses her to become a human. I'm not loving it, so I think I'm going to have to figure out another thing to do for the royalty prompt because this is just not it. I think that I'm going to end the vlog here and pick up tomorrow with the rest of my Disney readathon stuff. So let's go over the books that I read and what I rated them and their prompts. Okay, so the first book that I read for the readathon was for the prompt of read a book by your favorite author, and I read The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It was just decent. I think they were trying to branch into more of like a fiction, not and like get away from the romance, and so if you went into it wanting a romance, then it was kind of like lackluster, but it was still there. And then I read A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow for Sebastian Read group book, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. It was weird, but really good, and I really liked it. And then I read Love Boat Taipei for the read a book with a character that changes their appearance often. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Originally I said 4, but then I dropped it down to 3. I really enjoyed this, but I think it tried to delve into a lot of topics that, like hard topics, that it didn't do a great job of like handling, and it brought the topics up, but it didn't like start discussions or anything about them. And then the last book that I read but didn't finish is for the royalty, the extra prompt from another group, another team, which I picked the royalty prompt from The Princess and the Frog, and so I read this and I DNF'd it at 50%. It was just not everything I wanted it to be. So yeah, the remaining books that I have for this are Let Me Hear a Rhyme for Ariel, read a book featuring a singer as a main character. Flounder, read a book with a great friendship. I have Monday's Not Coming. I think for the royalty prompt, I might try to read 3 Dark Crowns so that I can get all of the prompts done, and I want all of the points. So I have 40 of the 120 points that you can get to complete this whole thing. And yeah, I would say that I am happy with the readathon so far. I read less than I was kind of hoping to this weekend. I was expecting to get through all of these books. I got through like 2.5 of the books that I wanted to read. So like if I had finished To Kill a Kingdom, I would have only had 2 books left. Because I didn't finish that, I have 3, which is fine. But I think I'm gonna end the vlog here. I will see you guys whenever I get the vlog for the latter half of the readathon up. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you stick around and watch my next week's end of the readathon video, and leave comments down below if you read any of these books yourself and what you thought about them, and I will see you guys in my next one.